Coach, is that you?
Yes, sir, it's me. How are you?
I am good, Coach. Hey, sasa samtolu, Coach.
Ufuna ukungihleba ngakubamba.
Ungibambile, Coach. Hayi.
Bathi sengilalele ufuna ukuzwa ukuthi uzongihleba uthini.
Angeke ngikuhlebe, Coach. Angeke ngikuhlebe. Hey, it feels good to have an actual coach. Dala sizikhulumela. Mase
Thank you
ngakubuza
so much,
ukuthi
sir.
hey, sibonani.
Thank you so much. Very interesting topic, but I was just listening. To everyone. Actually, when I was just scrolling up and my face and the coaches, so I said, let me just listen here. But very nice points from everyone. I was just listening, yeah.
Coach, can I ask you some questions while you're here?
No problem, sir.
Coach, where do we start? I have some questions here, but then I don't want to ask you and put you in a tough situation, as a coach is already in. Is there things? What are some of the things that us as fans, who are on the outside, that we don't understand about the coaching in the PSL or coaching a team?
Yeah. There's so many factors out here, I must be honest. It's a better situation when you find yourself inside the setup because you understand better as to what is it that is happening. Unlike from far, you might not have effect of izinto ezenzakalayo in football. It's not easy. Coaching is not easy, I must say. But it's easy because everyone can say opinion yakhe. It's a free sport where everyone can say opinion yakhe. But I was just listening to someone here, a comment yakhe, about the way we doing things right now as coaches compared to way back ngaleso sikhathi. And I saw some comments, other people were saying football is evolving almost every day. It's changing every day. So that's the challenge. You need to find yourself trying to catch up with times. And ama demands of football, ama principles of football still need to be implemented. But maybe the one thing which can be highly questionable is that as much as coaches are expected to deliver, but also we need to work hand in hand with the players in terms of making sure that whatever that we plan or what we wish to see happening, we need to work hand in hand with players. So our challenge with the players is to make sure that the implementation is there and it is working. So we can try to do other things, but the one question might be that when you are a coach, do you find yourself in an environment where players are also coachable, so that whatever you wish to see can happen? Unfortunately, in football, we must be honest to ourselves and say some players are talented, but we find that it may be very limited in terms of the thinking capacity. So as much as we have whatever that we have and we want to see happening, you need to break it down to the player. Players are not the same. You find an environment where you can get maybe about 10, 11 players who are very actually who are able to catch whatever that you want to do at that particular time. So you'll be lucky if you find such a number. But above everything else, it's true, football has changed a lot. So yeah, as coaches as well, we can't say nothing. We are still coaching like way before. I've heard someone saying, or making an example, Ngabo Skara, Ngabo Chabupule, and stuff like that. Nama was also a good friend of Aboskar and Nabo Chabupule while I was watching them. But football has changed out here. It's changed. We are playing football, man. Seconds, you delay with 1 or 2 seconds, you delay the whole move. So such things need to be considered as well, because Nalente Yaikona a free role. I say, you don't see my players a free role because we are playing a structure. Whether offensively or defensively, we still need to have a structure. I think in modern football that forces us to find ourselves in such situations.
And then, coach, just another question: how much of a problem is it that we play modern football? Let's say at your level, you're playing modern football in the PSL. You want to instill that, but then ubona like ekasi asidlali lawo modern football. Angazi ukuthi mang inveta kwenzakalana. Sazi ukuthi nathi sibukele TV. How big of an influence does that have on you as coaches?
It's actually a challenge because I know as I'm from Joburg, if you are considered as someone on a skill, then fanele ugibele phezulu ngamadolo noma ulale phezulu. But when you look at reality in the PSL, you can't do that. So you'll find that a transformation from leyo to leyo to something which is constructive at this level might take time. If you compare now, there's a very thin line, of course, between TTC and also EPSL, very thin line. But still, you will find that players will be promoted based on PSL. But still, kunama habits abafika now that you need to cut those habits in order for them to be relevant and play constructively, so that we can try to achieve more results. So I think from the development year to, I think izinto zethu in South Africa are highly questionable. I think you can even now find a player in the PSL but who can't hit the ball. Like reception when receiving the ball is highly questionable, but he's playing in the because development, I think, was not taken seriously so ngaleso sikhathi leso. So that is why you find ibhola lethu in terms of South Africa lingakhuli noma lingabonakali as ibhola elikhulayo when compared to other countries. I think there's so many factors into that. But to answer the question that ongibuze yona, ama players with a talent on its own is not enough. To compete, especially at this level, EPSL is not, sorry to say, this is not in Tsavo. This is very serious. This is serious kakhulu. Unfortunately, even if you wish to have Oscar and Ojabopule, but they still need to perform within the structure. And that's where our players are having a challenge. When you restrict them, and try to make them to follow the structure, then you are bound to have a problem.
No, coach, and then I think from me, the last question I'd want to ask you is, what is the difference between the players now and Nani as players, former players? What are you seeing that's different in how they are and how you have to treat them and how you have to coach them? Is there a very big difference?
A huge one in so many factors. I think before it was all about love, before money or before being paid. I think it was all about love. Not even with generation year too, but even before then. When talking about Abo Jomoson, we're talking about Abo Mlungisi, there was no money there. But in football, it was in the highest standard. Ngama requirements kwangaleso sikhathi leso. Nakhona lapho nginako futhi question ezinye izinto whereby you will see ukuthi abo teenage dlala. I was watching teenage dlala. Ngiyalithanda lela time lasekase yami. But I was watching ama games wakhe. So as good as he was and considered as one of the best players, but bengalipasi ball. Abantu abawu 5-6 lo muntu pasa ndoda pasa ngapasa. So I think, but it was relevant at that particular time. Ukuthi rely kuma stars wabo ukuthi they will make things happen. But nowadays we're trying to simplify football, whereby instead of taking an option enzima, just take the simple one. Engakwazi ukuthi if we can eliminate player one, get 1-2, let's rather do that than ukuthi sizorelya ukuthi mthathe on boy, mthathe on if there are no options. Yes, so you need to eliminate that player. So ishintshile football outcome njengoba ngisho nje ngithi unfortunately we are forced, even if ungathi ufuna ukudlala leli lakudala, but uzolimala kakhulu. I'll make an example. A great lesson, I must say, and be honest about this one. A great lesson we came ebesidlala neMamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
Forget about the results and stuff, but the lessons that we got as young coaches in that setup, not only ngokudlala. I'll make an example. When we look at Mapa, you see the starting 11, see Mapa, you see Ama reserve Mapa, and now Mapa more than the starting 11. It's a lesson. There's so many things ebezenzeka. I think ebesicabanga ukuthi ayibhola siyalazi, but we still need to dig deep in terms of trying to understand the football. So there were great lessons out of that. Ngizama ukusho ukuthi ibhola liyashintsha out yami. So yeah, kunjalo.
And then Coach Moses Saitini, one of the things that we speak about, because I also do watch-alongs when games are playing. When we speak about it, Tina Sibugele TV, you see the thing and we tell the changes and we're screaming at the TV and we're saying, Coach, why ungadlali 3? Why full back Kenza? So why aren't you changing and adapting? Take me to how it is on the pitch itself during the game when you're seeing these things. Is it as easy? Or is it different for when as a coach to us watching?
Let me start here. Obviously, when we approach a game, we will try and do more of the analysis in order for us to understand our weaknesses and also our strong points with opposition. Obviously, we are doing that so that we can try let's focus more on our strong points so that they cannot hurt us more, and also try to understand our weaknesses so we can capitalize in order to have joy. So when we have that planning and we just have a challenge now, which is implementing whatever that we want in a game situation. Remember, when we go there, we decide, okay, maybe they are playing 4-4-2. I'm making an example. We are playing a 4-2-3-1. So those are two different formations. But on the day, because if I'm playing 3 in the midfield and they are playing 2, there must be a question of which one is working. If we are 3, obviously we have a numerical advantage compared to them, so they are 2. So we will dominate. So that means we are forcing the opposition let's strike one so that you can match us. So information, you need to try and make information to work for you so that you cannot change and adapt to what is happening with opposition. So that's the biggest challenge corner. Yoguti, our players needs to understand whatever that we are planning on the day and we want to see on the game, we need to make it work. If it doesn't work, then we will go there to a game in front of the Sundowns and end up looking like a team who is here to defend, looking like a team in a goal out 10. Forgetting the strategy say to Lana, but we failed. Strategy and we find ourselves having our problems. So when it comes to information, you will go for information and you will see the strategy. The strategies, is it working for you or not? So in the first half, you might find yourself with, okay, we've struggled. And then you check. Irresponsibility coaching is to make sure you identify the problem and also help the solution. So when we go at halftime and we are 2-0 down, then we need to see with no problem here too. How can we encounter this problem in order to have more positives going to the second half? So other people maybe might rush to a Masap at the first half. They let me do a Masap just to try and change the situation. Abanye, they will say, let me go and make it clear. These are the problems that we are facing. If we can do this and that, then we might change the situation. And you take the very same team back, or would you go back and see 10, 15 minutes, are there any changes or improvement? If there's no improvement, then you start making changes so that you can try and change the approach. So it's not easy. It's not easy when you are watching the game. And also, you look at the personnel for the which is one of the things that I've learned from Sundowns. I'm sorry to make an example in Sundowns. It's just the game.
No stress, coach.
So what I've learned is that I was asking myself, why is Sundowns a team? Almost every game by you will see a match. But senya understand ukuthi i-analysis yabo bayenzela ukuthi bakwazi ukubona ukuthi they need to have a perfect personnel in terms of ukuthi bona bakwazi achieve what they need to achieve. So I'm just making an example. If they look at the Golden Arrows and see ukuthi Golden Arrows in ama short players, they make it a point with Matot. We need to capitalize on set piece because it is advantage abantu. And bese mhlambe mabafaka abadlali abade wena uzibuza ukuthi babashintsheleni laba but they have a purpose with why are they doing that. So those are the things that we need to learn as much as we consider ourselves as small teams, but I think this is okufanele nazo sipay attention and also sikwazi with appreciate when amanye teams are doing them in the line of us learning. So I think
no, Coach. Hey, thank you so much, Coach. I don't know if you'll be fine with taking some questions from the callers or requesters.
I can take few as long as you control it.
Okay. No, okay. Guys, please remember, this is a sitting coach, so let's not ask weird questions or questions that can put us into some problems or put him into some problems. So let's see. I'm gonna let three guys in, and I'm gonna give you each a question, just for you guys to speak to Coach. Nkosi Mpile, welcome to the show. How are you doing? Nkosi Mpile. Okay, no, you know what I'll do? Kenny, how are you doing?
Sure, Browsy.
No, I'm good. We've got the coach here. Coach Vilakazi. What question do you have for Coach?
Kunjani coach?
Yaphila mfethu njani?
Ngiyaphila coach, no. Thanda ukubonga ithuba. Ukuthi ngizokukhuluma nawe coach. Ngicela ukubuza coach. Ukuthi like does ama-training facilities ayenza difference ku-game plan yema-team or njani like ama-facilities wama-team ayenza difference ukuthi i-team iperforme njani?
I wouldn't be sure ukuthi mawukhuluma ngama-facilities ukhuluma ngani, but I will guess ukuthi mhlambe you're talking about having equipment. In a professional level, I don't think ukuthi ikhona team, even though ngakaze ngisebenze kwamanye ama-teams, but I don't think ukuthi khona team enenkinga ye-equipment at this level. So training equipment is sufficient for all coach bonke so they can work in proper environment. But also, if I understand, I might not understood coaching, but I think our training sessions that we do, we look at the previous game and see what challenges did we have. And we also look at the game, see approach ukuthi mhlambe ama challenges wakhona njani, and we try ukuthi let's integrate these two in order to make ukuthi environment yethu be suitable to our requirements that are needed game esiya kuyo, and also limit ama mistakes that we did game esiphuma kuyo. So it is always a work in progress out here. When we work, especially with trainings, there's no time where we are saying we are doing into with no purpose. So yonke into siyenza because kunenhloso yayo ukuthi siyenze.
Thank you, Kenny. Mhlave, welcome
No,
to the
I
show.
know Nyamtola.
Thank you so much, Kenny. Mhlave, welcome to the show. What question do you have for coach?
Yeah, thanks, man. First of all, how are you, coach?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, happy to be talking to you. I've been listening, and it's been nice hearing from you, coach. My question will be, your team, Golden Arrows. What's the mandate from the management to you, coach? Because Golden Arrows doesn't make a lot of noises like to say they want to keep the status, they want the top four, they want the top eight. If maybe you can answer that.
I think that's a bit of a sensitive one. Let's try get an open-ended question there.
No, I'm fine with
all
it.
right.
Are
You
you
can
okay,
continue.
coach?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, coach,
Okay,
you
and
can.
then maybe last one, coach. Are we looking at maybe to get other players since the windows is not closing to beef up your squad? If you can also answer that.
Okay, sir. Okay, with the first one, let me just be honest to you. I'll be honest. There is no mandate from the management. What we did, technical staff and also players, we had an agreement beginning of the season in our preseason. So we had an agreement of achieving better this season for the club. One of the things that we wanted so badly and we agreed as players is that it's been long since the team won a silverware. It was 2008, 2009 while I was still playing. So obviously we want to find ourselves firstly in a better position in terms of being in the top eight, not just being number eight, but maybe there was a time when Umandla achieved position 4. So we can still do that or even get position 3. So that's what we want to see happening or achieve as players and technical staff with the agreement that we have. And also in the 4 competition or Wake Up, we want to get a silverware. We've gone past the stage where we consider ourselves as Itimengane that needs to stay in the PSL and stuff like that. So we want to achieve for greater things. So we want to put our names in the map of Golden Arrows in terms of achieving something with players and also technical staff. So we do have a mandate.
And then, coach, on signings, are you still looking to go into the transfer window?
Hey, that's one.
Okay,
Okay.
I understand, coach. I understand. That's fine. Agent 007.
Yeah.
What question would you like to ask coach?
Hey, Coach Kanu. Hi, man. Hi. No, I just remembered your days now. I, I think, yeah, I have maybe 2-3 questions. I think, as a person who is into the whole activism thing, yeah, my first question would be, how much are you guys as coaches, most of that we are former player, investing in the mental health of players? And how much does data analysis help in the modern game? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Khona abantu awuthami commented lana bakhuluma ngokuthi coaching is not only about ama-tactics that we need to give players ukuthi thathani ama-tactics. There is a lot. I think what is more important more than anything else is to excel with man management. And when we talk about man management, we're talking about so many factors whereby you need to deal with the psychological aspect of our players as well. I remember, I'll make an example, a player man who is gone, Upule. I'm talking about Upule because we are happy with the club, with the contribution here. Even when 6 months before azohamba, knew ukuthi uyahamba, but still committed to whatever that was needed out of him. And he played games till the last one. But I had to ukuthi ngikhulume noPule so he can be okay, because when you know very well if there's someone osethi hey ngiyakufuna it can disturb a player mentally because you are now thinking about the greener pastures with on the other side is green and stuff like that. So it affects our players. So it is irresponsibility as coaches to make sure ukuthi our players stay sober-minded and happy at all times. Remember, it's not only the responsibility as nayo. When you're having our players out 28 in your team, but you are only fielding our players out 11, you still need to make these ones ukuthi they must also be okay mentally, so that whenever they get a chance, they must be able to perform. So we're dealing with a lot of things that are needed. And ama-players webhola anjani, how can I put it ngesizulu, ayatefa. There's areas where you see now ukuthi yabo la umuntu engathi uyasibhedela, but because you need this player, even if ngathi udlale bad, but you need him in the next game. So it's your responsibility ukuthi balance the two. As much as you were disappointed ukuthi you were defeated for, but bungadlali lama player, but you still need to make sure ukuthi these players are fully fit enough mentally for our next task elandelayo. So there's a lot, but the psychological aspect mentally needs to always be sharper, because without that we are bound to have more problems. And then the second question,
data analysis. How important is data analysis in the modern game?
It is very important. It is very important. I think we had a discussion even with my boss last Monday in our meeting, where we were requesting ukuthi sicela sitholele live data. Because why are we now looking for live data? It is because we know our players, siyawazi ukuthi capable ukwenzani. But live data izokwazi ukuthi sibonise or help us even when we are thinking of making ama substitutions. Ukuthi sithi ngeke so and so engathi namhlanje uya struggleisha, the data will tell us. So when you are thinking of making ama substitutions, then we are now thinking along the side ukuthi data yakutshela ukuthi he might not finish 90 minutes, uzoba ne problem. So that is very much important in the modern football. But also, sometimes it can give you a data a player ukuthi he's top class, but the performance ingabi top class. Shooting zama ukuthi umdlali ukhona akakhathele but uyabosa. So that's the disadvantage yakhona. So as much as we can look at the data, but also look at the performance ukuthi izinto ziyenzeka on the day noma the player is struggling. So you can still substitute him irrespective of having the best data on the day.
No, Agent, I think, are you okay with the answers there?
Yeah, no, I think what is left is just to say, no, thank you, Coach, for coming on the platform. It shows that you are, I always today coaches are elitist there, you know, they in Hyde Park there, but thank you, man.
Sure, my brother. What I like, Prophet, before to hamba, what I like about such platforms, that is why I interact and Avanto, because I'm not, yes, I know they were asking me questions now, but when I even read a comment, Lana, and hear other people, it is all about learning. Football is football. I cannot say something as cool. No. When I'm talking to umuntu, as my points out 10, I'm sure 3 or 4 will have an impact with career going forward. So that's the reason why I always interact and listen to us.
No, Coach Linda, I just want to say thank you so much. You don't understand how incredible this is. You know, Tina says, Kulmela, like TikTok, so it's very good to have an actual coach come in and, you know, Nati we learn, because at the end of the day, we also watch from the outside. Asazuguti, inside, what pressures do you have? What, you know, those type of things. So it's incredible to have an actual coach here. Thank you so much, Coach, for giving us your time.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's very important. Sometimes you see people question abadlali ukuthi ubani man why ungamdlalisi, but you are not a trainer. And when we train, we want to train into that we will be able to do or implement a game in. So if someone on that day iyahlupha ke futhi into ye-performance yabafana bebhola because iya-inflectuator. So last week when umuntu ugcina shisa, it doesn't mean ukuthi uzoshisa na this week. Mhlawumbe wehlisile ejimini and stuff like that. So if you don't have the whole picture yokuthi kwenzakalani, it is very easy for you ukuthi uvele nje uquestion ukuthi hawu lo coach unjani, why ngamdlalisa usibanibani. But those are the challenges that we face, and we must be able ukuthi mhlambe si face abantu ngazo, and the pressure, take the pressure as it comes, because sayikhethela lo msebenzi, unfortunately. As much as we want people to encourage us going forward, but we must also listen to them mangabe ukuthi khona la esingenzi kahle khona, so we can learn.
Coach, can I just ask you one last question? How much trust in the modern game, how much trust do you put in players groundini uthi nabo they must solve some problems, or is it a situation where these days you have to tell them everything?
Not in our setup. Last game, I think a game before Sundowns, Undwandwe wanted something ukuthi bayenze bona, a scenario bebayibona inside. So when he did that, he was scared to do it, but I gave him the freedom. No, whatever you are thinking, daughter, it can help us. So they did it. And after the game, so both of them, Undwandwe and Nonox, they are coming to me to apologize with a coach. No, there's no need, guys. As much as we can give you our instructions and what we see from outside, but if there's something in the field of play and there's a solution, so you need to take initiative because you are senior players and we trust you, we believe in you. We all want to achieve one thing, which is winning the game and get the 3 points. So if Niboni Sana about something as players, we don't need to feel small about that. We must be fully supportive to whatever any shilo ninangale soskatles. You were right. So at some stage there was one player, he's no longer with us now. I was still coaching MDC by then. And he said to me, hey coach, unomfano bekadlala left back. He said to me, coach, can you please try and use Lomfana as a striker? And it was something out of nowhere. I said, as a striker. What I am Zame, and I took that, then they show Lumundu, let me try and see it. He was our leading goal scorer with MTC. It was not my idea. I cannot take credit for that, but it was a player idea. So because I was prepared with him, let me meet him halfway in terms of listening to Intai Shoyo and try it. If it doesn't work, we would both say, I see Zamile Mfana Isebenzang. But if it works, then I will be happy and give credit to Lomo. So I like AMA players who take that initiative, Yoguti. They must lead by example in the field of play. When you see situations that we cannot sing Alasoskati, try and solve them. It's for the betterment of the club.
No, hi coach. Thank you so much for joining us. You have no idea what this means to this platform. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for giving us your time, answering our questions, listening to our conversations, and also giving us this information.
Thank you so much, sir. You're welcome. Next time,
no, coach. Mara, nisafuna now, coach. Maybe sizakhuluma or something. Nisafuna now. Maybe just interview properly. But thank you so much, coach. Guys, I don't know if there's anything we can follow coach with. I don't know if there's anything you follow through coach with. So I'm going to love you and leave you, coach. Keep watching our show. Maybe Connie's the intro. This is Kulma as left. Sing a baby.
I always do. Believe you me, I always do. Sometimes I don't get in so that you can see I'm a comment, but I'm always listening. Almost every day when we're live, I listen to my topics and kulumanga. But it's fine.
No, thank you, coach. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, coach. This was a very good day for us. Okay, guys. So, yeah, coach joined us. We got a coach to come and speak to us straight. As much as Simtelelu coach is Kulma Saitin, we were here to. It was very good to have somebody who's actually in the game speak to us and actually give us time. So thank you again to Coach. Very, very humble man, coaches, and very informative. You know, it was good to hear an honest side to everything as well. So hopefully. Singamteleli too much, coach, going forward because they came on here. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. What we'll do is I'm going to be back again at 8 p.m. We'll speak about, we can even continue with this conversation on our end, and then, yeah, we'll carry on from there. So join me again at 8 p.m. Remember, Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. I'm here. The panels are here, and then we can speak about what's happening. If you do miss out on anything, just know that it's available over on Facebook and on YouTube. You can watch back, you can re-listen, and you know, we can have these conversations as we normally do. So, guys, please carry on supporting, and I'll see you guys then again at 8 p.m.